The nameless shape, the urge to kill, a supernatural strength. You all know who I'm talking about. Raiden.
I don't think so.
Lightning, the storm god from John Carpenter's cult masterpiece, Big Trouble in Little China. This absolutely masterful Kurt Russell vehicle is chock full of colorful sets, 80s machismo, sarcastic one-liners, a killer soundtrack by the man himself, John Carpenter.
Take us away. Big trouble. Little China.
And over-the-top martial arts action, harkening to Hollywood's obsession with kung fu movies. Let's start with Kurt Russell. Not much needs to be explained about this absolute legend of an actor, having the humble beginnings as a young man in several Disney movies, some of which he might want you to forget.
2,934 feet. The lowest point is Salinas Grandes, which is 131 feet below sea level.
He's played versatile roles, several within John Carpenter's universe alone, such as Snake Plissken and R.J. McCready, but he's also played Lieutenant Gabriel Cash, Todd 3465, Wyatt Earp, Stuntman Mike, and even as Ego, the Living Planet, in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. But we're not talking about those amazing roles, we're talking about what we at Attack of the Bee Movies consider a pinnacle role in macho overconfidence. You know who?
Who? Jack Burton. Me.
Russell brings this likable would-be hero to life as an everyman truck driver who loses a bet to his good friend Wang Chi, the actual hero, played by Dennis Dunn. Now, no mythical over-the-top Chinese action flick would be complete without the ever-incomparable James Hong as the main antagonist, David Lo Pan. Let's cut to the chase. Jack stops his truck, the Pork Chop Express, in Chinatown, San Francisco to unload a haul. He stays for a while and gambles and loses to his good friend. Going to get the money, he gets caught up in an alley with two rival kung fu, of course, gangs duking it out in the streets. Flying on wires doesn't even begin to cut it. Haha, get that? When all of a sudden, three mysterious beings flash from the distance. They are the Three Storms. Now here's where things get interesting. One of the storms, you may have guessed it, named, well, Lightning, descends from the sky. Cue the Metallica. Riding the Lightning. Now, I'm sure in 1986, the audiences that saw this masterpiece firsthand would have been wowed by the special effects. That's because they were completed with the help of Richard Edlund, the visual effects guru involved with the original Star Wars trilogy, for starters. Anyway, Jack and Wang are forced to flee the fight and leave his truck, which is stolen by a gang called Lords of Death. Cute. Lo Pan shows up just before they flee, showing lightning from his eyes and mouth and temporarily blinding Jack, who is totally overwhelmed by what he has just witnessed. Turns out, every Chinese kid knows about the legend of Lo Pan and his backstory. Lo Pan, the old man, runs a front for basically trafficking. We weren't ready for that yet. In his real desire to find the Chinese girl with green eyes who will lift his curse and make him young and mortal again. Jack, Wang Chi, and Gracie Law, played by the amazing Kim Cattrall of Sex and the City fame, get wrapped up in the plot of Lo Pan as Gracie Law is kidnapped along with Wang Chi's girlfriend, Miao Yin. The gang come up with a plot to save her with the help of resident sorcerer and tourist bus driver Egg Shen, played by the late Victor Wong. And then they descend into the depths of hell and shake the pillars of heaven. All the while rescuing Miao Yin, Gracie Law, and killing all three of the storms and a very human David Lo Pan. Oh, it should be noted that the last storm to make it to the end to be killed last was none other than the inspiration for Raiden himself, Lightning. As you can see, we wouldn't have Finish Him without Big Trouble. There'd be no tournament-esque battleground without Lo Pan's wedding ceremony chamber. In fact, if there were no Halloween success, there would be no string of Carpenter classics that led to this box office pan direct-to-video hit classic. And of course, there'd be no reason for Jack Burton to say,
It's all in the reflexes.
We give Big Trouble in Little China a 5 out of 5 attack points for shaking the pillars of heaven. Watch it, buy it, and check out the soundtrack streaming on all platforms. If you missed the lead up to this episode, make sure you click on the link to learn how Dennis Quaid was actually the original Dream Master before Freddy Krueger. If you're liking the content, subscribe to our channel for more Attack of the Bee Movie content, and drop a comment to join in the conversation. Grab that popcorn and add a little cheese to your cinema experience.